Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90 and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss any upload as it comes up. And if you're new to the channel or you've been here for a while, the easiest way for you to move around or to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest in that. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, make sure you consider becoming a member of the channel. So on the subscribe button, you see a join button there. Make sure you become a member so that you support the team on the production. And catch you around.
So Tasila Lungu has officially gone back to her constituency in Chawama. So as you may be aware, she was on maternity leave in the United States of America for a while. From the time she should have given birth in Zambia and immediately after that went to the US. Or maybe she might have given birth in the US. Those details are not known. But pretty much she spent a good number of time on maternity in the US. And she just recently came back in the country. Should have been last week or the week before. And then she was arrested by the Drug Enforcement Commission or SEC, one of those institutions, for money laundering. And she was given bail immediately. So she's just out on bail. She's been to Parliament, and this is our official visit to our constituency. So she simply put up a caption just a couple of minutes ago where she was talking about her returning to our constituency. But in other news, Thomas Sipalo, this is a member of parliament that is likely to recontest the Mnadi seat in 2026. He contested, he should have come out the second. So he said, for the sake of some people who feel like I just talk from without because I don't support this government, can we do a social experiment? Go at a public gathering, get on a public bus, or going whichever direction, or stop any vendor, then just say "Komai Boma," then keep quiet, get the views and reactions, and come here in the evening and present your findings without any sugarcoating. So he simply says, everyone that is lying to the current government how the situation is on the ground, do your own research on the ground, get on a public bus, or just go and interact with the vendors and simply say Boma. Don't say anything after that. Let the people speak for themselves, and you'll find out, you'll be able to read the temperature on the ground based off that alone. And then someone in the comment section says, Nancy Moya says she gives her experience what happened. A certain man was almost beaten Mubema Road upon telling people bus that it's just work hard. Later on, the bus driver just stopped him off and then dropped the man off because the pressure became too big. People wanted to pretty much lynch that man. That is in reference to the new notes, the 500 kwacha and stuff like that. So that's Thomas Supalo's feedback to the UPND. He says, just do your own experiment to gauge the temperature on the ground, and like just listening to people. If you feel people are lying to you, just go and get it yourself. And then Tasila Lungu, when she was in Chawama, she says, home sweet home. Back to work, Chawama family. Tasila Lungu Mwansa there, obviously people receiving her. And then first line of business, she went with her papers. There's a track there, as you can see. Let me just expand some of these pictures. She was interacting with the people were just celebrating. Her return, obviously there's an interaction with the members of the community, some ladies, some fist bumps there. And then probably the men around her should be some counselors, and probably it's just some security as she went through our community. And then obviously those are the papers that we are putting earlier on in Chawama. This was before the rainfall. It was raining cats and dogs today, literally. It has been a very heavy downpour in Lusaka on the Inchwara day. So those are the papers that she went with on her first visit since returning from the US. There, she says, back to work. What is Thomas Palo doubles down and says the firing is okay, though I expected Chawama Container 61 to be on the list. So that's referring to the Ministry of Health, that scandal that happened where drugs were discovered. That is still active. So he didn't want to mention any names. He says, okay, fine. People have been fired, but it would have been better if someone from cabinet, because the people that fired pretty much mostly it's permanent secretaries and mostly shuffles. And then should be one or two new ministers or provincial ministers there. But Patriotic Front's Robert Chavinga endorses UPND for 2026 and President Hakainde Hichilema. This was just a minute ago at the Nchwara ceremony, where Chavinga simply says him and his faction of the PF has endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema and the United Party for National Development for the upcoming 2026 elections. So, I mean, it's game on. It's just, it should be like just a year from elections. So this is expected. This is 2025. Our elections are next year, so everybody's putting on their game, aligning and choosing their sides. So Chavinga has chosen his side, and he says the PF. But if the argument people are putting say, what PF is he representing? He's representing him as an individual. He has no followers. That's the argument. The other PF factions put to say who's following him. What is the 2026 general elections will be free and fair, peaceful, and conducted in a manner upholding our democratic values. Mwimbo assures Zambia's Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Jack Mwimbo, has reaffirmed the commitment for the new Dawn government to hold free and fair elections. So that's the reassurance coming from Home Affairs to say the upcoming elections will be very free and fair. And then, obviously, the PF responding to that endorsement to say the Patriotic Front Party has endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema. So they did not, that's reported by ZNBC. ZNBC did not report to say a faction of the PF. They simply said the entire PF, to which Emmanuel Mwamba responded, this is the, should be PF chairperson for media and media chairperson. So Emmanuel Mwamba says, I saw a story on ZNBC quoting expelled member of parliament Robert Chavinga stating that he has endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema for the 2026 general elections. The story being peddled and characterized is that as PF endorsing Hakainde Hichilema. So he says it does not matter how hard Hichilema has attempted to clothe the illegality by Mao Sampa or now Robert Chavinga as PF presidents, they will never be, and that endorsement will never stick. That's the feedback from me from the Edgar Lungu faction of the PF. So that endorsement is an individual endorsement and not the PF endorsement of the president there and the UPND. Mao Sampa also responded, the Patriotic Front has not and will never endorse the United Party for National Development in any case. So for the United Party for National Development to win in 2026, it can only happen if Patriotic Front endorses them. You ask the question, okay, what's the big deal of them trying to get an endorsement from PF? Otherwise, why the top desperation and excitement on the force of fake claim? You are on your own, UPND, Koseni, that's Mao Sampa's response. So those two other factions simply say that endorsement is not a PF endorsement, that's a Robert Chavinga individual endorsement. So Robert Chavinga is the one that has endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema and not the Patriotic Front, either Edgar Lungu's PF, no Mao Sampa's PF. None of those have done that such an endorsement. And he asked the question to say, why is it that the UPND is trying to get a PF endorsement in the first place? Politics. Same Munia Zulu has also chipped in. Endorsements from political prostitutes, nomads, who have no influence amounts to zero. Mukose, guys. So he's simply reiterating what Mao Sampa said, what Emmanuel Mwamba said. Say that endorsement carries no weight. It's an individual endorsement, and that person is not even popular in his constituency. Is likely to lose that seat. So anyway, he's free to do as he says, but let him not just brand it as PF. That's pretty much what these gentlemen are speaking there. The only way to keep people quiet after they had run away from people's house by making more news strategy. So he simply says this decoy of endorsements and stuff is just simply a decoy trying to derail the conversation in the nation, according to Munia Zulu there. And then Binwo Mpundungana, member of parliament, says Kafumba fired while in Chipata for Nchwara. Vehicle has been withdrawn. We will use a Yango back to Lusaka. Now power is temporal. But back to Lusaka now, power is temporal. He seems to say, hey, now you see, you've been fired. People didn't like this Kafumba permanent secretary. A lot of people have been celebrating his firing. it seems. The term permanent secretary is wrong in Zambian context. They must be called temporary secretaries to remind them not being big-headed and break the laws, as they can be fired anytime, even while at Nchwara. He has boarded Jordan back to Lusaka, or I mean, he has boarded Jonda back to Lusaka. So people are celebrating this PS. They did not like him because if you remember, he was part of Shimbakambwi's NDC party. Then they fell apart with the Shimbakambwiri. Then he got the element of NDC, endorsed the UPND, and that's how he got that permanent secretary job. And that seems to be the conversation in the nation, ladies and gentlemen. What is the High Court orders Chitotaya to pay Zadi VAT worth 6.5 million debt. And this person is incarcerated because he's in jail or should be at the maximum prison in Kabwe after that conviction of that alleged arson that happened during the 2021 elections. So now, the Financial and Crimes Court, High Court Division has ruled that the former Tourism Minister Ronald Chitota is legally bound to pay value-added tax on the 6.5 million owed to Azadi Investments Limited for the construction of his house. So more bad news for the incarcerated former Minister of Tourism there. And then HTML laments US cuts. The impact disruption caused can be overstated. That's in the Daily Liberation, and that's in the newspaper. People hungry, and then there's NAPSA cancels awarded contract. That's the individual that was aligned with Tasila Lungu, and then his contract has been cancelled. And pretty much that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a beautiful day.